Good afternoon and welcome back to the Pirate Kitchen. We've been away for a couple of weeks. Have you missed us? Go on, you can admit it. Have you missed us? We've missed you. So it's great to be back. A few little changes to format. We're going to shorten these shows right down. Things are starting to ease a little bit on lockdown. So as much as I know that you like to sit on a Saturday in the sun and watching me cook, we don't have to do that anymore. So probably pulling these shows down to about half an hour. So hope you enjoy. We'll focus on one dish. We'll explain a couple of variants for the dish in there. And it gives a little bit more time to relax and chill and enjoy it. So, Kaylee, who have we got with us today, Andy? Andy saying hi today while I get started.
Leslie Little says hi.
Hello, Leslie Little. How are you today?
Thomas Clare said afternoon, chef.
Afternoon, Thomas. How are you doing? We had a cover from yesterday's ride out. We had a lovely ride out down to Girvan yesterday. It could have been California, apart from the 40 miles an hour wind. And that was coming from the sea because Tracy wasn't with us. So, fantastic day out with the boys yesterday. A little bit of boys getting out on the bike and having a bit of fun. So today, I have a friend who watches, friend of the show, friend of ours, who has been requesting sweet and sour prawns, Hong Kong style. So we're kind of going to do that today. We'll show you how to make a sweet and sour sauce, or my sweet and sour sauce. At that which point we'll split the sauce off, and at that point Janie can go on her merry way. And then we're going to take some of that sauce and we're going to put a little bit of heat in it. And we're going to make a hot and sour prawn dish, which will kind of be our main gig today. So overhead cam. So we have half an onion, some peppers, we won't use all of that, fresh garlic. I've got some flour and some corn flour. So that's what we're going to use for our dredge. We're not going to make a really heavy batter. This is not like sweet and sour prawn balls or chicken balls. Giggly. Didn't know prawns had balls. But we're going to make a dredge, so that'll put a little bit of crispness on our prawns. With some brown sugar, a little bit of corn flour for our sauce. Bring some other ingredients over here. So nice king prawns, some pineapple juice, and as we go along with the sauce, everything else will become apparent. But I hear you asking, what is that draped over your shoulder? Well, let me tell you, this is our very own. Back on the main cam?
Yes.
Fantastic. This is our very own Pirate King TV tea towel or kitchen towel. These are available to a very few select fans of the show. Look, see how it drapes. Lovely material. As you know, we provide content a couple of times a week. We're here for your beck and call should you have a question. To keep everything going, we've made a few bits of merch just to keep the machine ticking over. So you've seen us wearing the t-shirts before. I've got the white variant on today. These are not currently for sale. This is my kind of kitchen t-shirt, well, long sleeve t-shirt. There's a black version of this t-shirt, short sleeved, 17.5 quid. We also have our very attractive embroidered, not printed, embroidered Pirate King beanie hats, keep you nice and warm in this lovely hot weather. So if you buy a t-shirt and a hat together, you get a free tea tip. Happy days. If you're interested in buying any of the merch, drop us a message and we will, somebody from the production team, i.e. Keely, will get in contact with you and sort it out. So we'll crack on with the actual cooking, because that's what you're here for. So we've got half onion, as we have done before. We're going to take a nice fine dice. I know when you go to the Cantonese restaurants, or your favourite takeaway, the onions and the peppers tend to be quite chunky, which is fine. But I think since we've got some lovely king prawns today, I want to keep my vegetables very much a supporting act. They're not the main thing. The main things are the prawns here. So nice little fine dice on that onion. Take him over to one side of our mat.
David Allen says we don't like Harley prawns. Can we swap them out for chicken?
Yes. So the variants to this. This works with chicken. It works with basically anything, I would say, except beef. As long as you cut your chicken and your other fish or whatever to prawn size, so it's important on your prawn, chicken, fish of choice ratio to batter and sauce. So as long as your chicken's of the same size, just cook it a little bit longer. Chicken takes a little bit longer to cook. You can use this recipe for pretty much anything. So again, nice. I've just taken a couple of slices off of our peppers. Cut them into nice little. We're on overhead, yeah? Huh, you're getting really good at this. I'm going to teach your mother how to cook and I can take Saturdays off. Again, we're just running our knife through nice little cubes. You can take as long and as short a time doing this. That's how we're kind of turned. I know these used to be cook-alongs. We kind of turned them into demos because we don't want people feeling under pressure and rushing recipes. If you want to go back to the traditional cook-along format, let us know. Doesn't make any real difference to us, but I think from a demo point of view, I can kind of horse on. And if you guys are watching it again on YouTube or Facebook, you can stop and start whenever you're ready. So that's our peppers done. We'll take a couple of wee cloves of garlic.
So Tommy says, I mate, enjoyed the run. It was really good to get out on the bike. David Allen says, I want a tea towel. And Leslie Little says, want a tea towel, please.
Well, Leslie, you're halfway there to getting a tea towel because you've already got a couple of t-shirts in your house. So I think we could probably help you out. DA, I'm afraid you need to get on the merch bandwagon, mate. We can have your people talk to our people and we'll see what we can sort out for you. I say we've got the tea towels just as a bit of a laugh and a joke, you know. They're black, they're embroidered, they're incredibly sexy. We're just going to give them as giveaways to people who bought t-shirts and hats, but you never know, there could be a thriving t-shirt business out there. So that's our veg prep. So we've got fine dice on our onion, fine dice on our pepper, a little bit of garlic there. We'll chop on that. We're going to put a heat on.
Leslie said thank you.
So in this pan, I've just got some water. We'll crack some salt into there because we've covered how to make rice 2 or 3 times. I think we even did a rice special, 2 or 3, 4 different rice dishes. So today, we're using boil in the bag. This is the bag in which it will boil. I really don't know if I need to walk you any further through this. Hot salty water, we're going to bring that up to the boil and drop that in when it's ready. The other pan is going to be for our sauce. So we're going to start off making, the reason I keep saying sweet and sour sauce, there are many recipes out there for sweet and sour. If you want to make the stuff we make in the takeaways, boil up some water, put a load of sugar in it, put a load of vinegar in it, put some red food colouring in it, and that's the stuff they use. No pineapple juice, nothing. It is really simple, really straightforward. Water, sugar, vinegar, red food colour. Today we're going to build something a little bit more complex. So we are going to use pineapple juice. Gives that nice fruity flavour. As opposed to other weeks, we are not going to fry off our vegetables. We're going to cook our vegetables in our liquid. Again, this is not going to be like the sweet and sour balls where it's all about dipping our sauce is actually going to be quite heavily bound to our prawns to give you that kind of nice sticky, hot, sweet, all those little flavour notes exploding in your mouth. Giggity.
So Leslie said she'll buy the tea towel if she can get a free hat. And then Louise says, no, I says I'll buy a hat if you can get a free towel. Lol. And then Leslie said, ignore last comment, I got it wrong.
Okay, so since you guys have been, if you want to buy a hat, by all means buy a hat. But since you guys have already bought a few t-shirts, I'm sure we can sort you out with a tea towel. Because that's the type of nice people we are here. Oh, and I know it's been a while. Wine. Hit the music. Pirate King TV, as always, sponsored by wine. It's a nice, cheeky New Zealand Shiraz we have today, delivered by the wonderful people at Majestic Wine. The wonderful people at Majestic Wine, if any of you are watching this or see it, send me wine, because I'm plugging your shit. I've just found out, this is outrage, absolute outrage. The person who has been busting my ass, this ass, to make this dish, isn't even watching today. So I just throw it all in the bin and we'll make tacos or something. No, we'll continue on. So we're starting to get a bit of a boil on our sauce here. We'll take that, the heat right down in that. At this point, we are going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar and let that dissolve through. So our pineapple juice is sweet, our brown sugar is sweet. We're going to make sure all our sweet notes are where we want them, and then we'll start adding vinegar. I've also got some off-brand lean pearl sauce, Worcestershire sauce, this stuff. We've got a couple of different chili flavours which we'll use when we start going hot and sour. So let's start focusing a little bit on our prawns. So bring the bowl over on the overhead cam, please, Kales, if we're not already there. A lot of people ask me the right way to cook prawns. Today we're going to put them in a light dredge batter, almost tempura, put them in a deep fat fryer, and then bind them to a sauce. If you're grilling them or pan frying them, always make sure your prawns are dry. Pat them out with a little bit of paper towel, get all that extra moisture off them, because what you want to do is you want the outsides nice and crisp and all that dark pink flavour, but without drying them out in the middle. And if there's too much water on your prawn, it'll just start steaming and you'll never get that colour and that flavour. You can also add to that, once you've dried your prawns, put in a bowl, get a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and that'll just dry them out a little bit more. It doesn't add any flavour to it, you'll never know it's there, but it will help you get that colour. So for the purposes of this dish, we're going to take a nice handful of prawns. Don't worry about these guys. We'll be having them later. And in here, I shall reach to the dabber. Again, every ingredient here is optional. If you don't like it, don't put it in. So we are going to go with getting all this, a little bit of paprika, a little bit of fennel seeds, a little bit of ginger, we are then going to add mostly corn flour, probably for that amount of prawns, a couple of tablespoons. And for ordinary flour, no more than a tablespoon, probably less. Pinch of black pepper, And we're just going to roll our prawns about in that. Get a good little coat on. I'm just going to put my deep fat fryer on. It's very much like all Asian dishes. It's all about the preparation. Everything really gets cooked at the last minute. So we'll go back to focusing on our sauce. So we've got our flour in there. I'm just going to get a little bit more of our pineapple juice. And we're literally a couple of tablespoons, no more. Okay, we don't want a really heavy batter on this. We want this to be pretty light. And again, everything you add in stages. What the batter is doing here, it's affording a little bit of protection to the prawns. But you're also trying to create that crispy, nice little crispy bits. So we can see on that, that's probably almost pancake battery. So we're going to put that off to the side, and so we keep working on our sauce. Wash of the hand, dry of the hand. Bring it back up to the boil. Our rice is coming up to the boil. So lockdown's starting to ease a little bit. How's everybody doing? Everybody been enjoying their new freedoms? We met with another household last week. It was very enjoyable to see real people. The evening was somewhat dampened when we had to shower them with a pressure washer with Dettol in it at the door. But, so lots of interesting things going on in the world. The world, as it stands at the moment, is COVID's kind of went on the back step. There's other things happening in the world. I just think people need to be calm. People have the right to protest. I personally think what happened was absolutely disgusting. Should never have happened, and people should be held accountable for it. But being held accountable for it and demonstrating is one thing. Breaking into shops and rioting and robbing and looting is, I don't see how. I mean, stores are having had enough time at the moment, keeping their businesses alive. I don't see how kicking in their doors and stealing televisions and jewellery and whatever you can get your hands on, I don't see how that's forwarding the cause. So by all means protest, by all means be outraged. But the rioting and looting, I think we could probably do without that. So everybody needs to chill out a little bit. I mean, as a race, as a human race, we all came together a bit during this lockdown. It's a shame to see all those gains be lost so quickly over one act, regardless of how terrible that act was. So everybody needs to take a breath, and maybe we'll get through this in one piece. I think there's significant changes need to be made in the way that we treat each other as human beings. That's the political bit over. I'm all for protest and being a dissenting voice, but I don't think a dissenting voice needs to be running down the street with a 55-inch television. On that bombshell. Any more comments? Anybody been up to anything interesting this week?
No comments. Oh, Kenny says I agree with you.
Good. It's always nice when people agree with you. Makes you feel important or impotent. It's one of those two things. So probably about a tablespoon of the old L&P. Our water starting to boil, because as boiling water goes, that's really what you're looking for. For those of you who were about on Wednesday, with that fantastic Q&A with Billy Kitwood, so we're big fans of his and he's big fans of us. And a really good, interesting conversation about cooking and comedy and how to get into performance and online content, which both of us are kind of into. So if you missed that, go back and watch it, rewatch it. It's reasonably amusing, but 30-40 minutes of your day. So, a bit of a taste on here. So, we've got all our sweet. We're starting to get some of that fruitiness through, and obviously from the vegetables as well. So, we're going to temper that. This is apple cider vinegar. You can use anything, malt vinegar, white wine vinegar, anything at all. Probably about 3 tablespoons for an amount of sauce of that size. We'll bring that up to the boil, and that'll basically be our sauce done. Just going to go back over here and check on our prawns. Just going to put the rest of that tablespoon of flour in there, just to hydrate our batter a little bit. As I say, I want this fairly tempura-y. Is that a word? Well, isn't it? Again, the key here is something around about pancake batter consistency. So that's all good. More observant around you, you'll see that our sauce is now boiling. So I know I've already tasted with this spoon, just put it back into the pan. That's fine, because it's my family. When you're at home, use different spoon or use different family. Entirely up to you. Yep. So I have all my sweet and sour going on there. Nice sweet finish. Nice punchy vinegar on the front end. We are going to take a little bit of corn flour. We'll turn our heat down a little bit. Back to our Tesco pineapple juice. So cold water, cold juice, cold stock, some corn flour. Mix it with your finger. You feel all the bumps, and you feel all the lumps going away. And as they go away, you've created a corn flour slurry, which is really good for thickening up sauces. If you want a clear, transparent sauce, use agar-agar or arrowroot. If you're gluten intolerant, agar-agar and arrowroot's fine as well. Pour that in your sauce and keep stirring it, because that will start to thicken up fairly quickly. So the reason we were off the air for a couple of weeks, we had really bad weather here the week after we done the Ready Steady Cook episode. We'd ordered some canned sides for the outside of the kitchen, this outside area. We were told they were going to come on the 29th of May, and then we got an email saying you'll actually get them on the 20th of May. They never came the 20th or the 29th. Apparently they're coming the 17th. So if there's any more shitty weather between now and the 17th of June, we'll try to be working over here. Until then, we'll get it sorted. But something which did come, which you may or may not have noticed, this little bad boy. So we can now officially say that Pirate King Kitchen has a Michelin star. We weren't awarded it, or just like that, but we do have it. Possession 9/10 of the law. The law now states that we have a Michelin star. Moving on. So our sauce is starting to thicken up quite nicely. Just waiting on that water coming to a boil. Any questions, any feedback, anything from the tens, if not fours of people who are watching us?
No. Nobody's ever just quiet.
So that was 1 week while we went here. The following week, it was actually last week, and that was like the first weekend lockdown had been lifted. So I hadn't spent any time with family recently, so spent the afternoon with my sister and her family. So it was nice to see them and catch up. So apologies for being human. Not just here for you. The Pirate King's here for everybody. So hopefully we're back to a more regular format of us being here and not being here. So I'm going to drop my boil in the bag rice in. That shouldn't take too long. So sauce is pretty much where we want it. A little bit of a clean down. So I'm going to move over to the back and start frying the prawns. So Kaylee, can you play the trail for the t-shirt, and then off of the back of that, play the like and subscribe? Thank you. And we're back. Fantastic. So basically, just drop my prawns into the deep fat fryer. Are they my prawns? Are they our prawns? Are they their own prawn? Is that a very philosophical question that you'll have to answer? So I've got them in about 170, 180. They shouldn't take too long at all. I've prepared a little bit of kitchen roll. I'm going to bring them out. Onto that. Next thing I'm going to do is our sauce here is reduced down. It's nice and sticky, and it's going to give us all the things we're looking for. We'll take this sauce off. So right here, if Shane's watching, what's in this pan is your sweet and sour sauce Hong Kong style. So that's your pineapple juice, your sugar, your garlic, red peppers, onion, a little bit of lean parm sauce, garlic. We'll put that over here. So here, take a smaller amount of this sauce, and we'll start reducing it and get it nice and sticky, because once that's ready, once the prawns are ready, we're going to put that in here and coat it, get it nice and sticky. Hopefully my rice will have caught up by then. But that's it. So it's been a fairly uneventful week in the kitchen. So we had a good Q&A on Wednesday. It's been quite nice and quiet. Still doing the day job. Family still doing the day job. Everybody's still, with all the other stuff that's going on in the world, regardless of how important that is, coronavirus is still going on. People, you need to keep safe, you need to follow the rules, stay in the house. So we done a bit of a ride out on the bikes yesterday, but we were all socially distanced. Well, Dave was more socially distanced than others because he had difficulty keeping up. But I like him. Dave Webb's a fantastic rider. But no, I think there's 5 or 6 of us out. Obviously, we're on the bikes, helmets, gloves. Done what we had to do. Went down to Girvan, beautiful part of the country. If you're not from the UK, you're from Scotland, Girvan's right away on the west coast. Quite windy. It's that little bit of water between Scotland and Ireland. Quite fresh, brisk. But no, it was a good day out.
Tommy said, if your prawns don't have that black vein removed, what is the best way to remove it without wasting the prawn too much?
Sorry, I was in mid. I'll bring these over so you can see them. So these are our prawns. I'll get to that question in a second. These are our prawns. And you see that batter on there. It is really light, it's really crispy. Our prawns are pretty much cooked at this point. So what was the question?
If your prawns don't have that black vein removed, what is the best way to remove them without wasting your prawns?
A fantastic question. I would have loved to get some fresh shell-on prawns. Unfortunately, supermarkets are not fully back to buy everything everywhere. So you get your prawn, you'll see where its little legs finish. Draw your knife across here, put the head away. Don't if you're that inclined, you make a lovely fish stock or a bouillabaisse with the fish heads. I know that sounds disgusting, but it is delicious. You then cut your actual prawn. Take a sharp knife. Sharpen the knife the better. Be very careful. Even put a towel on top of it so that you'll know what it can. So the prawn, it's still got its hat and coat on. Tuck your thumb in. Press down on the prawn so the shell's still exposed. At no point is the knife going anywhere near your finger, but just nice little rotate it round. That'll open up the back of the shell. It'll open up also where the digestive tract is, that black line. You can then pull your shell off, as if you were just taking the sweet coat off, and you'll pick it out with the tine of a fork, or the point of your knife, and just pull out a winner. But that's an excellent question. So our prawns are there. Our sauce is starting to get really nice and sticky now. We don't want to put that in too early because we don't want something overly sauced. But we'll stack them up there just now. So we'll take hot and sour prawns. So to our sauce, heat up a little bit because we're going to add probably half a tablespoon of sriracha. So that's a really punchy garlic flavour, not a great deal of heat. Nice punchy garlic flavour, a little bit of heat, and some more chilli. We're then going to go to our Thai red chilli paste, probably about a teaspoon. And I'm going to put that in here. We need to keep moving this now because as the sugar starts to activate in that sauce, it is going to get really sticky and reduce down really quickly. So I'm quite happy with that sauce now. So we take our prawns, we put it into our sauce, and we just start to coat our lightly battered prawns in our sauce. Keeping the heat up all the time. Don't want anything getting too cold. Quick check on our rice, which seems to be done. Carefully, without burning yourself, fish your rice out. So just going to let that drain off. If you are making boil in the bag rice, always let your rice drain because there's still quite a bit of water in there. And we're about ready to plate up. So I know it's been a much shorter quick. I'm just going to move my Michelin star here so I get into this cover. I'll put my Michelin star over here on the silver cover. Take our plate out. Give our rice a little squeeze. See, when you guys are at home, you've got a little bit more time, just let that rice fully drain. I'm just going to make a little reservoir in the middle. Take our prawns, which will still be crispy with the batter, flavoured with our sauce, and nice and pink and juicy in the middle. Giggity. So we go. We got a good shot on that. So that's today's dish, guys. That is our hot and sour prawns with the start of the show, boil in the bag rice. I hope you picked up some tips and techniques today. Please try the dish at home. Tell me what you think. If you don't like heat, stop at your first sauce. Do exactly the same steps. Reduce your sauce down. Put your prawns in or your chicken. Mix it about. Get it nice and coated. A little bit of sesame seed on the top. Just for presentation. But no, it's a really versatile sauce. You can do a lot of things with that. You do your sweet and sour chicken, Hong Kong style, prawns, any sort of fish. Very thinly sliced beef you can do as well. Important, keep your dredge, pancake sort of consistency so you don't end up a big thick chewing through lots and lots of batter. But that's us pretty much there today. So I hope that the shorter format is good for everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Please continue to tune in. Like the video, share the video. Let's get the channel out there. Let's get more people involved. Anything you particularly, I know Shani asked for this for a long time, but then when we actually decided to do it, she couldn't be bothered to actually turn up and watch. But that's fine. If there's something you'd like to learn, it's not as if I've been advertising it for a week. If there's something you'd like to learn how to make, give us a shout and we'll try and do it. Hopefully, lockdown will be fully over soon and we can go back to our normal lives. But thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you've had fun. I've had a blast. So, all the things left to do. I have a catchphrase now. Eat like a king, cook like a pirate. See you on Wednesday. Hit my music.